Hello, hello. Good evening and morning and afternoon from anywhere in the world you are joining from. You are welcome. Welcome. So I just give some moment for others to join in. Just give some moment for others to join in. So you are welcome. Okay, I trust you had a great day and you are welcome. This is going to be a very amazing session. Get your mind ready. A lot is going to um, be discussed. This is going to be a very transformative time for you. So, wherever you're joining from, I just wanted to type in the comment section, you know, tell me your name and let me welcome you. Let me welcome you. So, type in the comment section your name. Let me know wherever you're joining from. Very quickly, just before I get to share my slide with you. You are welcome, Victoria. You are welcome. You're welcome, Victoria. Welcome. I see David joining from Lagos. David, you're welcome. It's good to have you. Yeah. So just get your other friends, to join in quickly so we can, you know, we can move as fast as possible. All right. Just before others get to join in, I feel like telling you some stories. Should I? Do you think I should? Or I should just move on to what I have for today. All right. Oyebi Victoria from Ibadan. Yeah, beautiful. You're welcome, Victoria. How's been your day? Trust you are doing well. I just wanted to share this link, the link to this meeting, share it to your friends, share it on your network, and let's have more persons joining. This is about to be a very important conversation. This is about to be a very important conversation. You see, there are a lot of things that one of the things I've realized when it comes to um knowledge is that when you see two persons, many times, everything, when you look at both of them, looks the same. They have one head, they have, two hands, two legs, two ears, and everything seems to be the same, right? But then it looks as though the realities of one person, all right, is totally different from the reality of the other person. And you look at it, sometimes it makes you ask questions, right? That you know why is this person having maybe a kind of result that this other person is not having, right? And many times, if you look at it very well, you can tie it to knowledge, right? especially right knowledge. And the reason is because, knowledge stands as, the divider. It gets to be the difference between two persons. All right, especially right knowledge, right? So one person is acting on something in a particular way, based on what she knows or he knows that the other person is not aware of, right? And so it is very important that we have, conversations just like the one we're going to be, engaging in today. And is about to be a very, very insightful one for every one of us. So you're welcome. You're welcome, right? So today we are discussing something very profound. This has been captioned map, right? This has been captioned map, and a caption to explain or describe handling uncertainty and difficulty, all right, in your life, or about your future. And this is very important because many times you tend to look at other people, and it looks as though you're like, how come this person just seems to have everything figured out, and you're looking at it and you're like, I wish I can be like this. I wish I can have, you know, this same audacity, this same, confidence. Like this person seems to have his life or her life figured out. Why am I like this? Why is my own life like this? All right. And many times you're wondering, what is the problem? Okay. So we are going to be what we're going to be engaging in, right, is going to really, really be opening your eyes to certain things that you need to pay attention to, right? And I also mentioned that as we go on, maybe it's going to be better. Just you can just type your question already in the comment section so that it helps to. I know I get to flow with it, right? And I just pick the questions from the comment section, and I get to answer. Excuse me, I get to answer them as we move on in the conversation. So when you have your questions, either maybe you wait for the time when I request for questions, or you just drop them as we engage in this. So let me share my screen right now so that you are able to we're able to begin on this course. So it's about to be a very, very insightful one. Get ready, get ready, get ready. If you're ready for this, type yes in the comment section. Type I'm ready, I'm ready, I'm ready. Type I'm ready in the comment section. Type I'm ready in the comment section. Type I'm ready. And then let me know once you can see my screen. Let me know once you can see my screen. Okay, Michael is ready. Beautiful. Let me know when you can see my screen. I want to be sure that you are seeing it. Okay, beautiful, Victoria. Can you see my screen? Someone should confirm if you can see my screen. I want to be sure that you can see it. Okay, Michael said no, you can see my screen. Can anybody else see it? Okay, no, you can't. All right, let me try to fix up that very quickly. So what I want you to see is my slide. So once you can see my slide, let me know. Okay, can you see my slide now? Yeah, I think that's where I want you to see. Let me know if you can see my slide now. Okay, you can see it. Fantastic. Okay, though, so I'm trying to. Okay, but I'm guessing you can see it now already. It's just that it's not on. Okay, fantastic, fantastic. All right, beautiful. So, are we good now? Are we good? Confirm, Michael, Victoria, David. Are we good now? Let me be sure that we are good. Let me be sure that we are good. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so this is good. All right, so I mentioned we're going to be discussing the subject handling confusion and uncertainty about the future. And this is a very important conversation, I tell you. Like I told you the other time, many times some people feel that why do I look at this person and it looks as though this person you know has it all figured out, but why am I like this? It looks as though this person has a level of confidence in what he's doing. It's as though he knows what to do part time, and sometimes I'm not even it looks as though I'm not it looks as though I'm very confused about even what to do. And even sometimes when I know what to do, it's as though um I'm I'm uncertain, about the kind of result I am going to get from it. So what should I engage in? So what should I do? So we are going to be diving in. All right. All right. So just before I continue, I'm just going to ask you a very simple question. I'm going to ask you a very simple question, and I hope you know the and you have an answer ready for me. All right. So follow this. Now, if I give you a magic ball right now, why did I say magic ball? Like, I'm giving you a ball that makes that is able to answer any question, any futuristic question that you have. What will your question be? So, if I give you a magic ball right now, what one question about your future would you want answered right now? What one question about your future would you want answered right now? Just I want you to type it in the comment section. You know, I'm going to be reading. So, what one question will you want, that should be answered now? All right. Maybe, you know, it can be maybe in terms of your career, it can be in terms of maybe a particular goal, it can be in terms of business, it can be in terms of spirituality, can cut across, right? But what one question, if I give you a magic ball right now, what one question about your future would you want answered? All right. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm reading the comment, right, to see your answer very quickly because I'll move on shortly from there. I'm going to move on shortly from there. Okay, beautiful. Michael said, "Am I on the right path? If not, what is the right path?" Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that for Michael, right? Michael said, "Am I on the right path? If not, what is the right path?" Beautiful. Something's coming to my mind that we might have some people who would ask about, maybe who will ask about, something related to, money, and all of that. For some persons in my mind, I'm thinking some persons to ask about, you know, instead of me bothering myself about who I'm going to marry in the future, can I just know who the lady is right now? Or can I just know who the guy is right now? Okay, you know. But it looks like the people that are here, your questions are still, very interesting, right? I love that. Nobody's asking question about money. Nobody's asking question about relationship. Like Michael. Michael seems to be somebody that is very, very focused and purpose driven. Am I on the right path? If not, what is the right path? Okay, beautiful. So I'll read others as it comes up, right? Okay, but now the subject of confusion and uncertainty, I can tell you very clearly, is something that many people deal with. And you know, let me start by saying that if you find yourself in such a state, or in such a situation, let me tell you first of all that you are not abnormal. Nothing is wrong with you. Okay, if you ever thought that way, if you ever had the you ever had yourself in a state or situation where you're thinking, it seems like, "Oh, I'm confused. It looks as though I'm overwhelmed. It looks as though I'm uncertain." All right. And it seems as though, to make it worse, every other person seems to have their lives figured out. See, from what I see from the external, the grass looks green on the other side for this guy. It looks green on the other side for this lady or this my friend. But for me, what is the problem? Why does it look as though I have, a level of uncertainty with my life, or a level of confusion? Am I okay? Am I normal? Well, like I said, the first thing I'm going to say to you is that you are doing very okay. You are very fine. Nothing is wrong with you. Okay, nothing is wrong with you. And you're very, very normal. All right. And let me tell you that this is something that is not unique to you alone. People at different level, at different points, find themselves in situation where they have to go through this at different levels. Is that okay? So don't ever think that, okay, it is, it's just me, it's my fault. Maybe I'm not doing something well, and that is the reason why my life is like this. No. So let's proceed. Now, like I said, one of the things that this period is supposed to help you achieve is not firstly to just tell you what the answer is, right? But let me tell you something, that the first thing that this session is going to help you do is, and that's why we call it handling. All right, there is a way to handle it. There is a way to handle situation. There is a way, I gave you something about knowledge the other time, that the difference between two people, even though they have the same age, different, the same culture, the same complexion, and all of that, many times the difference between two persons that you see is usually the knowledge, especially the right knowledge that they have access to. And so you see one person, it looks as though this person is doing so well, but then this other person is not like that. Even though they both look the same, what is the difference? right knowledge many times. Right knowledge. There is what this person knows that this person doesn't know, or there is something that both of them have been exposed to that one of them is taking advantage of, working at, but the other person isn't. Okay, so now the essence of this session, all right, is to help you know how to handle situations. Let me ask you a question. Have you seen people before that it looks as though somehow you look at them and you're like, is it like this person doesn't ever go through any problem? They never look like they've gone through any problem in their life. Have you seen people like that before? Tell me in the comments. Like it just looks as though what like it looks as though they seem to just have everything figured out, and you are looking at yourself that is it like I'm not serious with my life? I'm trying my best now. Okay, beautiful. I see that. Michael said yes, yes. So, but then let me tell you the truth. The truth about it is that it is not as though they are not dealing with things. It is not as though what is happening to you is not also happening to them or hasn't also happened to them. The difference many times is always the fact that they have learned how to handle the situation. They have learned how to best respond, all right, to a situation or to a circumstance, not because they are not experiencing the situation like you, but because they have learned how to, find their way. They have learned how to handle situations. They have learned how to, walk with things and walk their way through it. And you see, you only need people to tell you their story many, many times, and you would even see that, you know, probably they are even going through more things than even you yourself, and you're surprised because in your own mind you are thinking that no, see me, I've tried my best, so all this worry and me, I've tried my best. Am I the only one? Why me? Have you asked yourself that question before? Why me? I said, God, why? What, like, why me? Have you asked yourself questions like that before? God, why me? Eh? Why am I? Why did you give birth to me in Nigeria? Like, why? Why me? Eh? Why is it that is this particular place that you allowed us to? Why? Why? And like I used to say, that my response when you ask the question why me is why not you? Yeah, why not you? So you think it should be somebody else, not you. But why not you? Because the truth about it is that the problem is not about what you are going through or the state or the circumstance you have found yourself, but then how you respond to it is what changes the whole game entirely. How you respond to situation, how you learn to how you have learned to handle them is what makes the whole difference. And if and I want you to really believe this if I tell you, all right, because because you are in this world, all right, there will be no time where you don't have anything that you are going through, all right, but then there is a victory dance. There is an assurance that you can always have, that in every situation I can always be on top of my game. I can always know how to find my way through situations. Now, let me give you a scripture. When you read Philippians chapter 4, from verse 11, there's something very profound that, Paul, stated in that portion of the scripture, in Philippians chapter 4 from verse 11. Paul was saying he has learned how to abound, and abase. All right. He said he has learned how to live in the midst of little and in the midst of abundance. Is it NLT that says, I have learned the secret of how to live in every situation? So, what does this mean? That it doesn't matter the situation or what happens. I have learned how to handle situations. I have learned how to handle circumstances. All right. Not because I have everything figured out, because many times you would think that the people you are looking at is as though they have everything figured out. They don't have fears. That's why they are confident. Well, actually, we can't even know someone is confident without the presence of fear. All right. Confidence can actually only be judged in the presence of fear. Do you understand now? You can't say somebody is confident when there is nothing to scare the person. You get what I'm saying? So it's the same way. You can't prove the strength of someone if it hasn't been tested. Do you get what I'm saying? Are you following this now? So I'm saying that when you are going through stuff, or when you find yourself in a state of confusion or in a state of uncertainty, know that it is not unique to you alone. Know that you are not abnormal for going through such. Know that nothing is wrong with you when you go through such. What you need to know is how to respond and undo every of those situations. Then you'll be winning. Are you following this now? So this is very important. All right. So let's move on very quickly. So if I'd ask you, like Michael mentioned, gave one of his questions right now. That's one of the questions he would have asked. Now, if I, you know, different people with their own questions will most likely cut through different areas. Maybe you would have cut through, relationship, spirituals, growth, personal development, success, purpose, and all of that. All right, people would have it across different points. But now let's move on and understand or ask ourselves the question on what you know confusion and uncertainty is. So I put here for you that confusion simply talks about you not knowing what to do next. All right. You not knowing what to do next. And uncertainty talks about not knowing or being able to predict what will happen, if you act. So very many times, okay, many times they work hand in hand. Confusion can be um confusion can be when you don't know what to do next, the steps to take next, you don't know if you should act on this or that. And uncertainty is maybe you have even decided a particular thing that you want to do, but you are so overwhelmed, you're so concerned about the fact that you don't know how it will turn out, and you're anxious. You're like, how am I going to go about this? What is going to happen? How am I going to go about it? Right now, this is very important. Now, understanding this, and like I mentioned the other time, is to make you know that these are normal parts of your life. All right, these are going to be normal part of your life. So don't think it's strange when you find yourself in situations like this. So, for example, when are the periods when you can, or you've experienced confusion and uncertainty? What are the periods? I want you to write in the comment section. For some persons, it can be maybe after you graduated. Maybe yours is in knowing what to do next after graduating. Maybe for someone else, it is wanting to change career. You don't know if this is the course you should further in, and all of that. So tell me, a stage or a state or a period, a time in your life or a situation where you've experienced confusion or certainty. You can just put it in the comment section. You can, maybe it's career choice, you can put career choice. Maybe it is in making decisions in relationship, you can put relationship. Just highlight the, let me see. All right, so I'm saying that life transition is one of the times or periods where you find yourself experiencing confusion and uncertainty. For some persons, is maybe um external factors, right? And when I say external factors, maybe things related to, they don't know the decision to take when it comes to, maybe because of the economy of the nation. So you hear people thinking, okay, should I travel out or should I stay in the country? Okay, maybe because of this business that I am doing, will my business thrive here, or should I take it out of this country? Should I move it to this other state? I learned that things do well in this state. Okay, I'm reading comment section now. Okay, Michael said after graduation, choosing career. Beautiful. After graduation, choosing career. All right, beautiful. Joseph said career path choice. Beautiful, beautiful. Career path choice. All right. If you still have more, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm still reading. Okay. So I said it can be in life transitions. It can be in dealing with external factors, being able to see that you're making the right choice in terms of maybe the economy of the nation and all of that. Another important area I see that people experience confusion and uncertainty is in what I call internal struggles. And this one is very, I've seen many people go through it, right? When it comes to internal struggles, things in terms of doubt, in terms of low self-esteem, in terms of comparison, in terms of fear. Okay, beautiful. I see a man of business, right? So people at these different areas, right? People go through confusion and uncertainty. So for example, a graduate is trying to see, should I choose this job or should I choose that job? All right, which one is going to work well for me? All right, for internal struggle, a young person can think, why is my life like this? As though every other person's life seems to be moving well. My own seems to be very 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 slow. What's going on? Okay, so now think of one area in your life where you felt you were uncertain or you've been confused before. All right, one area. Then don't have to think about it too much. All right, what is one area you've been confused? Right, so career choice, right? Business, right? Which other area have you been confused or found uncertainty, right? Let me know quickly, because I'm going into we want to start breaking down some things right now. Okay, want to start breaking down some things right now. You see what I'm about to say now. um I don't want you to forget, and the reason is because this statement is going to be important in how you handle every form of confusion and uncertainty. It's no matter what the area is. Okay, no matter what the area is, when you face uncertainty or confusion, your mindset matters more than the circumstance. Let me say this again. When you face confusion or uncertainty, your mindset matters more than the circumstance. Oh my God. See, I told you the other time that there is, have you seen two persons and you're like, what is the difference between this person and this person? And you're wondering, how come this person seem to know what to do and this other person, they are facing the same situation, but it just looks as though this person is taking the next step, and this other person is still, is still trying to struggle, right? And you are wondering that, what is the difference? I just mentioned to you now that when you are facing when you're facing confusion or uncertainty at any point in time, always know that your mindset is more important and matters more than the circumstance, because the kind of mindset that you have, which are some of the things we're going to be discussing, right, is what will be the difference, all right, between one person that seems to make progress in the midst of a confusion and uncertainty compared to somebody else who seems to, to still be stagnant and maybe can't move yet. Are you getting this now? So follow this very quickly, because like I said, we're going to have to consider some mindsets on this, right? We're going to have to consider some mindsets, some mind shifts when it comes to you being able to handle confusion and uncertainty, whether in career, whether about purpose, whether about finance, whether about relationship, whatever area it might be. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? If you're ready, let me know. Type yes if you're ready. Type yes, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right. So on mindset shifts now, the first thing I want you to know, the first thing I want you to know, can you still see my screen? It seems, I guess you can see my screen again, right? Let me try to get that up. Okay, so I guess it's back up now, right? Okay, so the first the first mindset shift that I want you to have, which helps you know how to handle confusion and uncertainty, is that number one, accept that uncertainty is normal. The first thing is accept that uncertainty is normal. Oh, Jesus. And what I just said now, okay, makes situations more interesting to deal with. In fact, it makes life interesting to deal with. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I said that. How many of you have maybe you wanted to see a movie, at a point in time, and somebody already came to narrate, already gave you spoiler alert about the movie, and already came to narrate. By the time you're Tell me the truth though, by the time you are now watching the movie, will it be as sweet again compared to when nobody has told you the story, and you you are really feeling all the suspense, all the everything about the movie, you are really feeling it. Which one will you prefer? Tell me, which one will you prefer? That somebody has given you spoiler alert, or the person allows you to watch the movie first in peace? Which one will you prefer? Tell me. I want to show you something. Which one will you prefer? Tell me. Yeah, I'm waiting. Oh, beautiful. All right, beautiful, beautiful. Can Oh my God, I love this. I love this. I love this. So look at this now. My girl said, "Allow me to watch the movie in peace." Okay. Moyo said, "Not knowing about the movie." Exactly. Why? Why they stress? Oh, why they don't not give me spoiler alerts? Let me watch this movie in peace. Thank you. Have you seen some people that even when you want to watch the movie, they want to tell you something? It's as though their body is itching them to tell you something about the movie. And you're like, yes, please respect it. Let me watch this thing. Eh? You know, I've been watching the movie before, and someone was sitting beside me, and the person was, you see what's going to happen now. You see, he's going to shoot him. You are stressing me. Let me watch this movie in peace. All right. So can you see me? So yeah, I believe you can hear me, right? So I let me watch the movie in peace. And guess what? This is how life is many times. Because you are like you're like, well, I wish I know everything about my life. I wish I know every step, to take and all of that. I wish I can know what's going to happen tomorrow. But guess what? You not knowing what will happen tomorrow and entering tomorrow is actually part of the adventure that makes your path interesting. Life is not supposed to be 100% predictable. It's not going to be interesting any longer. I don't know if you get me. It's not going to be. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And so the first thing I want to tell you is that in the midst of confusion and uncertainty, relax. Relax. So, what I am saying is that you must accept that uncertainty is normal, right? So, learn to live with it. It makes the journey interesting. It makes the journey interesting. It makes the journey interesting. The second thing I'm going to tell you is that learn to focus on what you can control. All right. What did I say number one is? Okay, so what did I say number one is? Type in the comment section. What did I say number one is? Because I'm moving to the second one now. Uncertainty is normal. Beautiful. Accept that uncertainty is normal. Beautiful. Thank you, Michael. The second thing I said is that you must focus on what you can control. You must focus on what you can control. All right. There are things that you can't control, and there are things that you can control. So I am saying that you must learn to focus your attention on the things that are within your power. So the things that are within your circumference to control. Don't hmm. Let me give you an example. You can't control how the economy, all right, you can't control how the economy goes. But for example, when it comes to the financial state of the economy, you can't control the financial state of the economy will go, but you can control your own spending, your own money habits. I get what I'm saying. You can control the skills that you can build to be able to thrive in the economy. Is it making sense? All right. Because I've seen people find themselves in states where they keep complaining more about what is not within their control. Have you entered the vehicle before? Maybe you were just even eh, at a random public place, a random public space, and in fact, is one of the is one in Nigeria, for example, it seems to be one of the greatest conversation starter where maybe you just ask somebody that you know how is Nigeria, you know how is this fuel price, how is this, this that the president said yesterday. If you try that thing in the public, you will make friends easily because it's as though people are even looking for they're looking for you know people to talk to. Just go to a random place. Maybe you are even in a public place, in a public location, somebody sitting beside you, you don't know how to start the conversation. Just ask the person, how is the economy, how is the price, the price of the fuel, how is it for you, how is this inflation rate treating you, right? How is How is NEPA? How is PHC in your area? Have you realized that people will always have something to say? It's one of the best conversations that when you're in the public and you don't, because it's as though people have, and in some situations you see people giving, I don't know why they are doing this particular way. I don't know what's wrong with, I wish the government is able to, if it does this and does this, it will lead to this. Oshé. But guess what? Like I said, why you can, it's fine maybe to state out things and, oh, this is what can be done better in the economy and all of that. Many a times people just talk and keep speaking about what is not within their control and ignore what they themselves can do within their control. Listen, there is the economy of a nation, but there is also a personal economy that you have. There is also a personal economy that you have. That one is within your control. You that you are blaming the government about, the cost of things. All right. You are somebody that probably you slept and you slept for 12 hours. Now tell me, you slept for 12 hours. But you are giving, you are complaining about what the government is doing. You're not looking at yourself that, oh, if I don't sleep 12 hours, if I sleep 7 hours or 6, or between 6 to 8 hours, for example, what can I do with the remaining 4 hours that would shift me forward? But no. So what can you focus? What is within my control that I can act upon? Okay, what is within my control that I can act upon? So I gave you the example, I might not be able to, influence the entire financial economy of the nation, but I can influence my own personal economy. For example, things are, expensive. I might not be able to control that, but can I control my money making and money management skills? Can I improve on my savings and my investment habits? Are you getting what I'm saying now? I'm saying that there are things within your control when it comes to, a period where you find yourself in a state of confusion, anxiety or uncertainty. There are things within your control that you can work on. In those periods, rather than staying idle, rather than staying complaining, rather than stay crying, what are the things within my control that I can work on? Are you getting this now? Is this making sense? For example, you might not be able to control other people's opinion of you. So, for example, maybe for people who even at different points in time have, low self-esteem issues, right? And or people that are more like, if I do this now, what will people say? Now, what people will say is not within your control because you are not in their mind. You cannot determine how they get to think about you. Yeah, of course, as you get better, you are able to, you can improve how people get to perceive you, right? But then I'm saying that you can't control. Look at Jesus in the Bible. No matter how much good Jesus did in the Bible, there are people who were Pharisees and Sadducees who will never be satisfied or see the good in his goodness. Okay, so I'm saying that there are times that you do things so good or do things so well, but people will still choose their opinion of you. Now, can you control how people get to think about you? Can you control people's opinion about you? No. But can you control what you do and your attitude towards things? Yes. Are you getting it? You can't control other people's opinion, but you can control your own attitude, how you stand up to situations, how you act on things. That one, do that one. Because I've seen people who the excuse that they give for not taking the next step is that I don't want to do this thing because I don't want to go and make mistake, and people will now be looking, people will now be thinking I am a failure. Eh? Did you hear yourself? People will be thinking that you're a failure. Really? Really? Are you getting this now? So I'm saying that there are things within your control, but there are also things, there are things outside your control, but there are also things within your control. Can you focus and work on that? What's number two? Very quickly, what's number two? Let's move quickly. So, number one, we said accept uncertainty as normal. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to be certain about everything. You don't need to have 100 over 100 before you can make motions or do things or get things done. Is that okay? I'm saying that, in fact, an adventure is an adventure, and an adventure is more interesting because you don't know everything about it yet. Have you played video games before? Adventure games. One of the games that I liked very well growing up. Adventure game is GTA. All right. For example, GTA Vice City, right? Grand Theft Auto. So it requires you to go on mission, right? At different points, at different locations. Am I correct? Many have played it before. Have you played it before? Have you played the game before? So because it requires you to, go on mission, it requires you to get things done. Now, the journey or the adventure is interesting because I am looking forward to the things that would unfold to me as I move on in the game. It becomes less interesting when somebody has told me everything about it. Or even if you can relate to the issue of game, I told you about the issue of seeing a movie, for example. Imagine you want to see a movie and somebody is already giving you all the spoiler alert, saying everything to you. You're not going to find the movie very interesting again. It's more interesting when it is not predictable. The same thing in your life. So when you have some level of uncertainty, the next point of call is not to now grow in anxiety. No, no. You must learn how to live with it, knowing that this is part of what will make my adventure or my journey interesting. And guess what? In God, you don't need to know everything. You don't even know everything. Because if you're waiting till you know everything, you're not going to move. All right. It's just like somebody riding a vehicle in the night. Okay. Your headlights, your headlamps are on, and you are like, oh, I'm taking off from Ibadan now. But then these headlights can't see the entrance of Lagos. Because of that, I am not going. Do you know you never travel? Right? Because you must be able to trust the journey. You must be able to trust the process. That is also part of what makes it interesting, right? Okay, let me move on. So number two, I said, okay, Michael dropped that. Thank you. It says focus on what you can control. Beautiful. Focus on what you can control, right? Focus on what you can control. You know, I've seen things fall in place because I decided to take action on some things. You will not know what is waiting for you at the other side if you always want to wait to have everything set 100%, to have 100% certainty, to have 0% confusion. No, you're not gonna make motions. One. Number two, you are not going to be able to know what is waiting for you on the other end. You don't write exams because of course you read for exams and you prepare as much as you can, right? But imagine somebody saying that, I'm not going to write this exam until I already know the questions to the exam and I already prepared the answer. That's when I'll be able to write the exam. You're not ready to write the exam. Imagine that was the kind of mentality you had from maybe your primary to your secondary, to your university level, and you're like, I'm not going to, I'm not going to proceed with these exams until all the questions has been shown me, and I'm sure that I already have all the answers before I go. Baba, you're not graduating, no, you're not moving to next level, you're not going to be promoted. All right. How many of you have done things before that, okay, you did them scared, you did them not too sure, but then let me even cite example like you wanted to execute a project, but you did not have all the money to execute the project, but then you decided to proceed to start the project, right? And somehow along the way that you didn't plan for, you found someone in the journey who was interested in maybe that thing that you were doing and decided to contribute to it, and that was the money that now completed what you were looking for. Things like that. But guess what? If you never moved with the thought that I'm not sure, you know, I'm not sure this thing is going to work. I don't have everything required for it. You will never be able to meet that person who is at the other end, who would be interested in what you are doing. If you're following this, type following. If you're following this, type following. Type following. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I said number one is that you accept the uncertainty. You accept uncertainty as normal. Number two is that you focus on what you can control. Number three, now if you have questions, I want you to start dropping in the comment section so that I can I can move on to it. All right. Number three is that you must learn to see confusion as a time for growth. Learn to see confusion as a time for growth. Listen, what I'm telling you now, you know, in case you've not heard it before, it might look very strange to you. You might be like, like, hey, these things, are you really sure? Like, what's going on? Are you really sure? You must see confusion as a time for growth. You know, hey, and it's more like a follow from previous point, right? When I started going to the gym, for example, when I started going to the gym, um, of course, when you go to the gym, the essence is to work on your part of it is to work on your muscle like that, right? When you start out at the gym, it's your muscles start aching you. It start aching you, right? But guess what? The growth of those muscles, the expansion, the growth and the strength of those muscles is dependent on the discomfort you're having. So this is the problem. When imagine someone gets to the gym and like, this thing is paining me, I can't continue, I'm going home. Listen, your growth is in that discomfort you're experiencing. I don't know if you're getting this. So many times people draw back when they start getting confused about something because it's discomforting, many times. But guess what? You must learn how to stay in it and know that, and tell yourself, you remember it's a mind cheat, right? Tell yourself that this is a time for me to grow. The goal is to grow through this. That I'm not just going to go through it, I'm going to grow through it. Are you getting this? Now, I will not just go through it. Many people just go through a situation, but then I will not just go through it, I will grow through it. This is very important. Are we together now? Now, this is very important that I learn how to reinterpret confusion. I learn how to reinterpret uncertainty. All right, this is beautiful, right? This is beautiful. This is beautiful. All right. So I wrote here that you must learn also to experiment your way forward. You must learn to experiment your way forward. You must learn to work, experiment your way forward. I'm going to ask you to do something shortly. But before we get to that, let me just proceed on this. So I'm saying that you must experiment your way forward, right? So now that's your follow up from where I'm coming from. That you don't wait to be 100% clear before you act. All right, because many times when you wait to be 100% clear, you're really already late, right? You're really already late. So when I say experiment your way forward, I'm saying that one of the things that you can do is put yourself in a position where you take little action or where you take little steps. Now, you might not be able, you might be wondering, what will I do in this situation? You know what? I'm going to break this down shortly better to you, right? Um, let me begin to do that right now. Okay. So learn to what? As I learn to experiment your way forward. So one of the ways you do that is learn to take small steps. Okay. So for example, now, if you are somebody that is trying to maybe um, make motion in terms of career, maybe you've even studied a course, or something, and you are trying to maybe you're in a career path, right? You're trying to, like, is this really what I want to do? Maybe you're not sure. One of the things you can do, when I say take small steps, is that take a course. Take a course in an area you think you might be interested in. It can even be an online course. Start from there. Okay. Take a training, a mini course, a course maybe on Coursera, or, any of these platforms. Take a course. Okay. On maybe areas that you think, oh, might be I might be interested in this area. Take a course in that area. Should I tell you another thing you can do? Decide to get on a project, either with yourself, maybe yourself personally, or join somebody in a project. Do you know? Do you know there are people that have discovered what they now spent their lives doing by just joining somebody on a project? Hey, there are things that some parents did not even have an idea of, that, oh, I could really do this, right? And just because they joined somebody on a project, or they partnered with somebody on an initiative, all right, boom, it's as though there was something that had been locked up in them. Suddenly, it's as though the door of that thing was suddenly opened. And they're like, well, how come I didn't know this before? No, well, you get what I'm saying right now. So take small steps, like try out things. Take small steps. Is that okay? Take small steps. Try out things. Is one of the ways to experiment your way forward. Okay. And one of the things, taking those steps will do for you is that when you try out in an area, and you see that, oh, I love what I'm experiencing in this area. Okay, then you can go further. Maybe you do something and you're like, no, this is not it yet. You feel it that this is not it yet, right? You're able to then pivot. Okay, you're able to pivot. But if you, oh, this is it, then, oh, I can further more. I can do more. I can get better. Oh, I can add more. Oh, I can dedicate more time to it. All right. Is this clear? Are we still following? Is this clear? Okay, yeah. So still speaking about um, you know, experimenting your way forward. I want to emphasize some things that I think will really, really be very important for you. You see, when you are trying to work on things, also, when you are trying to, maybe when you have a number of things listed out and you're like, oh, I want to take action on this, I want to take action on that, right? One of the things that I would advise is that don't try to have a whole lot of things before you at the same time, that you enter a point where you are overwhelmed and you get nothing done. Learn to focus your energy, right? Learn to focus your energy. Focus on one thing at a time. Okay. Don't spread your energy thin. Learn to focus on one thing at a time, right? And how do you do that? So for some persons, and it's even clear in how some persons even plan their day. I mean, just a simple day. And they write these, I want to do this, I want to do that. They write like 15 things. Now, the 15 things that they've written down now seem to be staring at them, to the extent that by the evening of that day, they now not done one. Has it happened to you before? If it has happened to you before, tell me in the comments. Has it happened to you before? When you started the day, you had a lot of things, but then the weight of the fact that you were still trying to deliberate. Oh, which one should I do first? Should I do this one first? Should I do this one first? This one, oh gee. And that is where you continue and have analysis paralysis until you find yourself not doing anything. So what should you do? Focus your energy. All right, focus your energy per time. Don't um don't try to project your energy on a lot of things at the same time. Focus your energy, right? Focus your energy. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is that you must learn to should I treat this point? I have quite a number, but I want to round off. I want to begin to take questions. Should I take questions now? If if you have questions, type I do in the comments. Let me know. If you have questions, type I do in the comments. I want to know, how many persons have questions so that I can know how to pivot and bring this together. If you have a question, type in the comment section I do. Okay. So I'll just still move on. Of course, maybe if you're typing, in case you're typing the question, type as fast as you can, right? Let me then move on to the point I wanted to share, so that um I'll be able to then pivot from there. All right. So the next mind shift that I want to tell you or discuss with you, all right, let you know about, is the fact that you must learn to condition the environment. Many of you are listening to too many things at the same time. Did you hear what I said? You must learn to condition your environment. You can't be hearing, you can't be hearing, many things at the same time. You must learn to condition your environment. You must learn to what? Condition your environment. Now, you can't be listening to this person that is saying go, and you are also listening to this person that is saying wait. You are listening to this person that says, oh, go, but go slowly. You're going to be confused. All right, you're going to be confused. So you when it comes to making the needed progress that you need in handling confusion and uncertainty, you must learn to condition your environment. You must learn how to filter the voices you're listening to, and you must know what is being said that applies to you per time. Are you getting this? I'm hoping that you get this. There are times that you're scrolling through social media. For example, let me give you an instance. There are times when you're scrolling through social media. It is not every quote or every podcast or every video that you see that is for your current season or for your current state. There are times when what your current state needs is that put more pressure on yourself. But someone that you're scrolling and reading online is saying, don't worry, it's going to be fine, relax. There are times that you know that in this season, what I need to hear is not relax. What I need to hear is place more pressure. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. There are times that, what you need is patience. All right. And maybe in the season that you're in, what you need is patience. All right. And what you're hearing from someone else is that, move very quickly, move very fast, take up all the steps. But you know that in that season, what you need is patience. So you must learn how to condition your environment in the sense that know what applies to you per time. Know the message, all right, that applies to the current period or season that you find yourself. Okay, and so while you do that, you must learn how to condition yourself. You can't be listening to many people at the same time. Now, not because all of them are, not because they are not right, but because based on the current season or period that you find yourself at a particular time, you must know what you need. Then you must place your focus around that and fire on in that direction. So look at this now. Um, for example, for some of you, it might be what you're consistently listening to. All right. You For some of you, in conditioning your environment, there are people that you need to unfollow on social media because they are contributing to what is wrong with you. For some of you, you need to take a social media fast, for example. What do I mean by that? For some of you, you need to have times when you shut down on social media and have times of meditations, because it looks as though your mind cannot settle. The only time your mind gets to settle is when you are sleeping. Immediately you are waking up like this, the first thing that your hand is touching is your phone. You did not even allow the mind to breathe. And so you resume every day with a whole lot of confusion. You resume every day, clouding your mind with a whole lot of noise. So you don't even have time to be able to sit back and be able to, pick on things, certain things. You are not able to relate with the core of your being because it is noise every day and everywhere. And you are not taking a break. So, like I said, for some of you, you need to take social media break. I get what I'm saying. For some of you, for some of you, there are some things you need to stop watching and other things you need to start watching. Because another thing that can help you, handle uncertainty, confusion way is to be able to also watch models or examples of, people who are doing things in the line of what is, aligning to what you want to do. You must understand this. This is very important. Are we together now? So, I believe you're getting something from this. I believe you're getting something from this, right? Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, I'm going to round off shortly. So, if you have question, type your question in the comment section, um, so that I can take that before we end this session. Type in the comment section if you've got any question. Um, very quickly. Type in the comment section if you've got any question, so that we can begin to, you know, I can begin a round off on this. All right. There's one more point that I want to, you know, speak to you about, and I would be ready to take your question afterwards. I'll be ready to take your question afterwards. All right. All right. But someone getting something from this? Are you getting something from this? Getting something from this? All right. So one more point. If you have question, just type your question in comments. I'm going to come back to you shortly. Okay, I think this has been beautiful so far. It's been an amazing session so far. So amazing, amazing. Thank you for joining. And I really want to hope that you are able to make use of the different things that have been shared. All right. And if you have questions, you can also, maybe when you rewatch the video, you can drop your question. In case you're not in the community, you can drop the question, in the comment section. But I want to believe that this has been, very, very insightful for you. It's been very, very insightful for you. Let me state these as I close out. Let me state this as I close out. And I was trying to emphasize this point the other time, but the fact that you must realize that you okay, I didn't realize early that I've been muted for some time. Um I don't know at what point I got muted now. Oh Jesus. I just hope it was recently. Okay. So like I was saying, I'm gonna close out shortly, and I'm gonna close out on this note. Um so I didn't know for how long I was muted. So I don't know maybe the last points that you heard me, say or talked about. But are we good?